Now your e-bike motor is a super capable and powerful unit, and it can provide assist up some of the nastiest climbs. That is, if you're providing it with the correct cadence. So today we're taking a look at cadence and how it can affect your ride. So what actually is cadence? Well, cadence is the amount of times your crank spin round per minute. It's quite similar to a car's RPM of the engine. So on a bike, this is going to differ for how fast you're actually going and what gear you're in. You need to match the gear to the speed you're in to get the correct cadence to push the bike forward to the desired speed. Now, most motors have a sweet spot of around 80 to 90 RPM. So just make sure you're in that sweet spot to get the most out of the motor when you're hitting the trail. So how do you actually measure your cadence on your bike? Well, a lot of manufacturers these days, such as Shimano and Yamaha, can have all that information on your heads-up display on your handlebars. So you're going to hit your menu button, scroll through the functions, all the way through to cadence. Keep that up on the screen, hit the trail, and just make sure you're maintaining that 80 to 90 RPM of the bike and getting a mental note of where that sweet spot actually is. Now, a lot of the bikes that connect via Bluetooth, such as the Specialized and things like that, can have all that information on your mobile device. But mentally and physically, you should be able to feel that sweet spot out on the bike and kind of take a note of that yourself. So let's take a look on this rock slab at finding that sweet spot and trying to maintain it on the climbs and out and about on your ride. Right, so I'm going to attack this climb in the wrong gear, so it's going to give me the wrong cadence. It's going to make this climb twice as hard as it should be. Right, so let's give it a go. So straight away I've got very little assistance from the motor. I can feel I'm really having to push through the pedals hard, increasing my chances of a wheel spin as well. My weight is really far over the front and I'm having to work really, really hard. Right, so let's hit this climb with the right gear, therefore it should give me the correct cadence to get up this hill super easy. Now straight away I can feel I'm not slumped forward over the handlebars. I can control my weight nice forward and back to control my grip. Got a good spin on the motor, very little effort, and I've got good forward speed. This is definitely the sweet spot. So when it comes to finding the sweet spot on climbs such as this, it's all about selecting the right gear to get the right cadence from the motor. So if you've selected the wrong gear, the motor's going to be providing very little assistance. You're going to find yourself bogging down and actually going slow and having to put a lot of effort in to get the bike up the hill. With the right gear, however, and the right cadence, the motor's going to be spinning up, giving you a load of assistance. You're literally going to fly to the top of the hill. So it's about time we hit the woods and see how cadence affects you on the flat as well. So a key part to your e-bike riding is actually finding that sweet spot of the motor, and finding out that without using one of the heads-up displays can be quite a black art. So all you need to do is find a fire road just like I'm riding here and attempt to ride that section over and over again in different gears in the same power mode. Then you'll find that sweet spot of the motor, whether you're working too hard or your legs are spinning round or you're pushing you along and it feels kind of like you're labouring the motor. You just need to find where that motor is going to assist you the most and drive you forward with the least effort. So once you've found that sweet spot of the motor, it's worth noting a few things. Now, a few motors make a bit of noise, like the Shimano system I'm using. I've got actually a noise that I can listen to, and I know that is the pitch of the motor where it's providing the most assistance. So if your motor does make a noise, it's worth noting that. And another part of riding is the actual body and the muscle memory that you've got on your legs. So take a note of how fast your legs are spinning around and apply that to the bit of trail you're riding. It should see you fly up that bit of trail with the most motor assistance and the best cadence to suit that obstacle. So some signs of some good cadence is that when you're out on the trail, your legs are spinning nice, every trail obstacle becomes a breeze, you're getting good motor assistance on every single climb, and on the flats your bike is going along at a good pace. Now bad cadence, there's a few different signs of this. This is high and low cadence. So low cadence means that you're grinding along, your weight's going to be all over the stem, and every obstacle you come to becomes a struggle. You're not going to get much assistance from the motor, and your legs are spinning really slowly. And then high cadence, the opposite end of the scale, is that you're in too easy a gear for the obstacle that you're riding. You're spinning along, your legs are going around really fast, and the bike isn't traveling very fast forward either. So you need to change into a harder gear to get that motor to spin at a lower cadence and provide a lot more forward thrust to the bike, rather than you spinning along in too easy a gear. So there you go, I really hope you've enjoyed today's video on cadencing your e-bike and getting the most out of your e-bike motor. Don't forget, you've got to spin to make that motor work the best. But if you've got any comments about getting the most from your motor or cadencing, drop us them in the comments box below, get involved, give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. But if you want to stick around for another video, check out spinning versus grinding. That one's down here. Don't forget to subscribe to EMBN as well by clicking the globe in the middle of the screen. And whilst you're there, click the notification bell to get a notification every time we do an upload. Cheers!